Hello everybody, today we have Lenovo Yoga. It's a 2-in-1 laptop. It's a Yoga 7th Gen 14iML 9th series. It's an Intel Core Ultra 7 1st Gen with beautiful touchscreen. Let's take it apart, let's see what we can fix, replace or upgrade. So start with bottom screws. You need T5 Torx screwdriver. Now separate the bottom case from the Palmrest, so find a gap where you can put your tool in and then start separating. Work your way around the whole edge to disconnect all the clips and use only plastic tool, otherwise you can scratch your parts. Alright, the bottom's off. Look for the part number on the white sticker. Now start with disconnecting the battery. So pull out the connector and now we can take it out. So if the battery is swollen or doesn't hold the charge, you can replace it. Unscrew all the screws. Now we can take it out. Here, that's our battery model number. Now let's see the speakers. So if the sound is bad, you would like to replace your speakers. So there is no screws, just rubber grommets, and then both speakers are connected. So follow the cable. And now disconnect the speakers from the motherboard. So if the sound is bad, you can replace your speakers. That's our part number. Okay, now let's check under those covers. So here, that's our Wi-Fi card. So if the Wi-Fi doesn't work, you can replace this card. Gently disconnect the antenna wires. Now take out the screw on the top. And you can pull out the card. Look for the model number on the top, somewhere here. So let's check under this cover. So that's our RAM memory. The memory is soldered on the motherboard, you cannot replace it. If it doesn't work, you have to replace the whole motherboard. So here, that's our heatsink. So if your laptop overheats and you would like to add cooling paste between the heatsink and the processor, or if the fan doesn't spin or makes grinding noise, or it's clogged with hair, this is when you would like to replace it. So unscrew all the screws. Now disconnect the video cable that's routed through the fan and move it out of way. Same with the Wi-Fi antennas. And now let's see. Now let's take out the heatsink. Sometimes it's stuck to the processor because of the cooling paste, so be gentle, don't bend it. If you bend it, it won't work anymore. Alright, so that's our heatsink. That's our part number. And there's one more screw for the fan. Alright, now we can disconnect the fan. So that's our cooling fan. Look for the part number on the white sticker. So now that's our I/O board with our power button and the USB port and the card reader. So if those don't work, you can replace this board. But the board is covered by the hinge. So in order to pull out this I/O board, same with the motherboard, it's covered with the hinge. So let's unscrew the hinges for the screen, so they are out of the way. Now gently unfold the hinges. Maybe let's disconnect the video cable on the opposite side. So pull it up. And there is Wi-Fi antenna. Alright, now we can unscrew our motherboard. Oh, and by the way, this spot, that's for the SSD drive. So if your laptop doesn't boot and tells you there is no boot device, or you would like to upgrade the storage, that's the place where you can do it. This one is missing the drive. Alright, once we have all the screws out, disconnect all the remaining cables. I usually close those retaining clips. If you leave them open, you can break them later. Alright, so that's our motherboard. That's the processor. Processor is soldered on the motherboard. So if it doesn't work, you have to replace the whole motherboard. And that should be our part number, the FRU. Alright, and now we can take out the I/O board. I will keep the CMOS battery with the board. So that's our I/O board. And that should be our part number. So now let's disconnect the Palmrest touchpad assembly. Let's see if we can replace the touchpad. So let's unscrew these screws on the sides. And on the top. There's one more screw here under that keyboard cable. Alright, this is how we can take out the touchpad. Look for the part numbers on those stickers. Now, as for the keyboard is riveted to the Palmrest. You cannot replace it. You have to buy the whole Palmrest keyboard assembly like that. If you're looking for parts, check gotlaptopparts.com. Let's see how hard it is to take out the LCD. First, take out this bottom strip that covers the screws. Sometimes you have to wiggle it to take it out. Here you have the part number. Now take out all those screws on the bottom. Once you take out the screws, find this pull tab here. You have to catch it and start pulling out. Be very gentle, don't break it. So the screen is mounted with two adhesive stripes on both sides. You have to pull them out, otherwise you won't be able to take out the LCD without breaking it. Alright, so one side is out. Alright, so now we should be able to take out the LCD. So I was able to take out the screen. There was additional adhesive on the top here that didn't stick out. There was no way to take it out, but I was able to do it without breaking the LCD. But you can see how thin this is, how hard it was to pull it out. So if you can, probably look for the whole screen assembly. Okay, so that's our back cover with the hinges and webcam, and that's the video cable. In order to disconnect the cable, you have to flip this retaining clip here. Now we can pull out the cable. Now we can disconnect it here. Alright, so that's the video cable. Here we have the part number. That's our beautiful touch screen. Here we have the part numbers and the screen model number. Alright, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.